What's up, guys? Nash here from Boone Mountain Sports, here to talk to you about the 22-23 season and a little bit of the snowboard lineup that we brought in. We're here at the Winter Park Chateau. One of our good friends opened this place, so kind of a good partnership here. So come check these guys out as well. Kicking it off, we brought in, a few all-mountain boards here in the category into kind of some Freeride POW. So let's maybe start here in that all-mountain category. Starting at the end here, we got the Rome Stale Crewzer. Personally, I feel like this board is just so much fun to ride. Very, very lively, reactive, tons of pop, tons of play in this board. Just kind of does it all. Drew can probably touch on that a little bit, but so fun.
Yep, super fun. Good response, edge to edge, forgiving. Trees were phenomenal. Switch riding was good. Yeah, good pop with the power rods. Just all around really good all mountain board for sure.
Man, I have heard nothing but amazing things about this board. You've been riding it for, I don't know, it's not new this year, right?
I think this is the third iteration of the Crewzer.
Okay.
Same construction all years,
Yep.
but you kind of don't need to change anything if it's not broken.
Yeah.
Right? So kind of just holds up in their line every year, which is super fun.
It's got the hot rods in it, which is carbon rods that run through it just to give you more stability back and forward and popfulness. Like if you're trying to hit jumps or pop off of like a bank or something, it just gives you a lot of play.
A little bit of everything. So as an all mountain board, the Stale Crewzer, and Stale is there. He's one of the riders for Rome, right?
That's right.
And
Stale Somvex, one of their riders. He's got 3 boards in the model. We'll get into one of their other ones. One I don't bring in. It's more of his park board. He's hitting huge jumps, and it's not necessary for our customer. Where these other 2 that are here are very great for what we ride here in Colorado. On the Crewzer, you get a directional twin. With that, it's riding like a twin shaped board, whether you're riding in your regular stance or you're flipping around and riding switch. All they've done is they've extended that nose a little bit, a little better flotation, a little bit more power in the nose there. Definitely one of those boards that you could ride it all season. You're gonna have fun in the park, you're gonna have fun on a groomed run. In the POW, I recommend maybe setting it back a touch, get a little bit more float out of that nose, but definitely something you can ride all the time here in Colorado.
And I remember following you on that thing a couple of times last year, and it just makes, and Drew, that thing it's so much fun to watch because it's just so much more playful. You just like you have fun going down the hill anywhere you're going.
It's that pop and snap.
But it still charges. Like you want to arc a turn, it's right there supporting you, right there asking for the next one. So
it puts smiles on your face.
ear to ear.
Which is what we're all looking for, right? Personally, I love a board that can lay an edge really hard. I love carving. And just the explosion you kind of get out of that turn, like it's one of those boards you can load that camber profile really nicely, like say on a big toe carve, and you can really pop out of that turn. You can get air right out of a turn, land into that heel edge, and you're going. So really, really fun, powerful, kind of do-it-all snowboard.
Super versatile.
And that's what Stale wanted out of the board. He wanted something he can go ride in bounds and have a blast, no matter where on the mountain he's riding. So.
And the type of snowboarder that's going to be on this is going to be a little bit more of that intermediate expert sort of snowboarder. What do you say?
Yeah, that's right. So definitely like more intermediate, into expert. As you get better, the board's going to give you better feedback, right? You can definitely skid out your turns and progress on that, but it really does like to lock in that edge and for you to get that full side cut out of that board, really load that camber and lock in that edge. It really likes that, but a lot of people can ride it. They've made it very, very versatile in that sense, which is really awesome.
I think that kind of rolls right into the other one that's right next to it from Bataleon, like the one that I've heard nothing other than amazing things about, along with just a massive amount of people just on the outsides and on the web and coming into the shop being like, do you have the Goliath?
It's so much fun. I rode it at Winter Park springtime last year when they were doing their bank slalom. I unfortunately didn't get into it, but I was with my buddies and I was charging with them and hitting park. It's just buttery smooth, man. It's awesome.
So tell us a little bit about like what's going on with the Bataleon Goliath.
Yeah, so Bataleon as a brand really just brings the fun in snowboard. You know, if you've never done a butter in your life, you're gonna go ahead and start buttering this board. Like their 3BT technology, their triple base is just so much fun. Like just in the sense of in freestyle, you know, it's playful. You can jib around on it. You can butter it out, and it's very forgiving with having that spoon-shaped nose, which is really awesome. But, you know, kind of on the Goliath is their, again, kind of directional twin. 99% twin is what they call that. So rides the same regular switch. Has a bit of a deeper side cut than some of their other boards. So it's really going to hold an edge where you want it, which is really cool. Kind of allows you to go anywhere again like that. One thing with the 3BT as well, sticking on that point, is the flotation you get out of a board that's a twin shape is phenomenal. You know, like you don't get that on a lot of boards with a traditional shape to it. Once you add that 3BT, it's really dissipating the snow and keeping that tip up. And they've done a really great job. Drew probably spent the most time on it this year, so he can probably touch on some of those freestyle aspects because this guy can throw a 180 where you didn't know he could, which is really cool.
You know, it's an all-around super playful board. It's got the carbon tubes going down the edges, so it's very responsive. Like Nash was saying, carving ability is phenomenal, but it's super forgiving. If you attempt to do something trick here or there, it forgives you. It allows you to complete it without catching an edge or putting your face in the snow. I just all around really, really fun, explosive, entertaining snowboard. I love it. Can't say enough about it.
So just to kind of touch on the TBT, right? So like that triple base technology. So for anyone who doesn't quite know what that means, is what they've done on the tips and the tail is they're gonna reveal the tip and the tail just a little bit on the outside and have flat base in the middle. So it allows it to, like, you're not looking to catch an edge very much. It makes it a little bit more forgiving. That's why I like throwing 360s and 180s, you know, when you're going down. You can just like hoot and holler. It's always been kind of nerve-wracking because it's pretty easy to catch an edge, especially on traditional cambered snowboards. So this has allowed like you to open up and be a little bit more free and a little bit more aggressive and trying things you wouldn't necessarily try on other boards, right?
I'd say it brings out the kid in you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a smile on your face when you're riding that board. It's super fun.
Well, that's also like the one thing that I loved what Nash just said is like it just brings the fun out.
Right.
You know, it makes snowboarding that much more fun when it's already a blast.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's one thing with Bataleon as well. That the full camber profile, not having to put rocker in the tip and tail, just makes it a true snowboard. A lot of power in your turn, a lot of reaction. But then you add that triple base to it, it makes it forgiving and fun and playful. You know, if you had a full camber snowboard with none of that, it would be quite a bit to ride. So definitely covers a big ground of Colorado riders. You know, we personally like to do it all. We don't want to, be stuck in one spot. So that's kind of, where the Goliath fits the bill really nicely.
I think that's what Johnny Tsunami would have picked when he switched from surf to snow.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny Tsunami would have loved it. Surfy, playful, right? Throw it around however you want. So that's why I bring it in. It's a phenomenal board. Come check it out, guys. You will not be disappointed. Touching on our local heroes here. This board, the Neversummer Proto FR, has been out for the past couple of years. They have a new design to their line called their triple camber. That's right, triple camber, sorry. Which is it's such a wild shape. no one does a rocker camber profile like Neversummer. Once they've added an extra point of camber without getting rid of the overall rocker feel, has just made the board that much better. You know, I actually spent a lot more time on this than I was expecting last season. Really kind of found a love for this board. Like I said earlier, I love to carve, you know, and getting on a rockered board that you can lay an edge in is wild. It's such a wild feeling. Where that triple camber allows you to do that. Personally, I felt on a groomed run, you can get really forward, you kind of push that rocker towards the nose, and you can drive your turn. You can really, really lock in this edge. This board is definitely geared towards more of that advanced rider, I would say. You know, intermediate would be okay, but with how it edges, it doesn't want to skid a turn. It wants your edge in the snow hard every time. But the versatility aspect of it is that rocker. You're in the trees, you're standing up, maybe you're leaning a little bit more back. You can kind of play around with how that board's going to rock back to the tail and give it a little bit more of a pivoting motion, which is really cool. This board, they really knocked it out of the park for me.
And I remember you being actually a little hesitant about the triple camber.
For sure.
You know, you're like, oh no, here we go. You know, this triple camber, schmickle mamber.
Yeah, exactly.
Tried over and over and haven't gotten yet.
Yeah. And then you came back and you're like, dude, I've been riding this thing on a regular basis. Like, it is so fun. You found something better and cooler about that camber profile that you wouldn't really know. So if you're like hesitant and like not knowing or unknowing, like, it's tried and true at this point, everybody. Like, it's definitely something to come through.
Your second day is better than your first, and your third better than your second.
Yeah.
It grows on you, and you learn, you know, it teaches you what it can do, and you just want even more of it. It's a true charger. Like Nash was saying, it's not so much beginner, intermediate. You need to ride it, and it wants to ride, but man, it's tons of fun.
Really,
Grip it and rip it.
yeah, really, you grip and you rip on this thing. Like it's one of those things. You're in some weird chundery snow. It doesn't matter. It's gonna plow right through it, and we get a lot of varying snow conditions here. You know, it gets hot. We get a lot of snow. We get snow. It gets hot. It gets cold. It freezes. This thing will really allow you to do that. The setup on it, you know, it's a little bit more directional, but as you can see of the profile, you can ride that thing the same. You can ride it switch, no problem. Floats and power exceptionally well for the shape as well. Neversummer knocked it out of the park on this one for sure.
It looks cool too.
And it looks great.
It's a wicked board.
I'm stoked on that.
And Neversummers are bulletproof. You have a problem with breaking boards, you're riding variable terrain that you're ripping core shots in. The base material they use is fast, and it's very strong. Like these boards, I'm not seeing having to do many repairs to, which is really cool. So always love that about Neversummer. And they're our local boys.
Built for Colorado. Man.
It is. They're built for Colorado.
Go into the all mountain stuff. Now we're cover the all mountain stuff, which we all are pretty stoked about. A lot of really fun different aspects of the boards that we brought in this year. But then we get in kind of like in the big mountain pow sticks, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go floating.
So
Let's go
the first one here is you're gonna see the Arbor Satori. This is a great transition from this all mountain category into a little bit more all mountain powder. So this is Brian Noguchi's third design, his third board in Arbor's lineup. This board, Brian Noguchi really wanted something to ride the resort with his kid. He's doing a little bit more freestyle and freeride inbounds there at Jackson Hole. So really wanted to design a friendly board, so it's going to be a nice mid flex. So tons of pop and play, but it's not going to be overly stiff. He can ride lower speeds with his kids and have a good time. So what they've done here is they've created a mid flex. It's not a true twin, but it's more of a twin shaped board. So you can ride this thing switch, regular, whatever you want. But what they've also done is made it a wider profile. So obviously Brian Noguchi's in Jackson, so they get some deep days, and he wants to have a fun, playful board when he's inbounds that's going to float exceptionally well. So definitely a board we're sizing down on. If you ride a 163, you're on the 157. If you're generally riding a 157, you're going down into like a 154. So with that wider profile, it definitely rides bigger. They've done a lot to this board to add some flotation aspects. Arbor, in general, is just such a cool company. You know, some of the technologies they're using, such as their fenders, simulate something like a triple base. They're going to raise those contact points in for a little bit friendlier of a ride with their parabolic camber. So full camber, which we all know, camber's tons of snap and play and things like that. So I think the Satori has knocked it out of the park. This is a new board for everybody. It's brand new this year. So looking forward to spending more time on that this season as well. But definitely something for Colorado. Carve it, go play around, hit some jibs. But on a deep day, no problem. It's going to handle that.
Another thing that's cool about Arbor is they're super eco-conscious. Like everything they do is focused on the environment, and they really what is it? Every tree that they cut down, they plant another one.
That's right. So their sustainability story is the big thing with Arbor. They're creating quality boards out of a lot of recycled materials. A lot of their resins and things like that are going to be made from plant-based, some castor bean oil. So their whole factory is solar powered. So they do a lot for the industry in that sense, with creating phenomenal snowboards.
And have been for, they've set a standard.
Have been since they started, you know. And obviously, personally, I think Arbors are some of the most beautiful boards. That comes to their wood veneer top sheets. You're using a real wood that's shaved down, and it's gonna add. Everything's unique.
Everyone is its own, and the guts might be the same, but your board is yours.
And and that wood on the top sheets, adding rigidity to your board as well. So you're getting a little bit more of a stable ride with that. You know, it's just perfect. They did such a great job with that.
Well, and I love the description of the reason why, because like when they're doing their wood veneer, just the description of it kind of helps with like understanding with all these other ones that are utilizing more of a poly or a plastic top sheet, right? They're utilizing their top sheet to adhere, to the rest of add strength to it. So like as it goes on, the epoxy goes on top of it to then permeate, and not so much epoxy, but more or less their plant-based materials to embed through from the top down. So it's like it's adding to the rigidity, it's adding to the playfulness, it's adding to the pop and overall feel of how it rides on the snow.
And overall longevity of the product too, because and with the profile of the tail, it's perfect for, like Nash was saying, for resort days with the kids wanting to ride switch, practice up your switch game more often, and then on those deep days, you're ready to go. Just set back your bindings just a little bit, and you're ready to have fun.
Yeah, game on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of deep days.
Which we're all hoping for.
Yeah.
This next board here, the Rome Stalefish, is one of my personal boards. I bought it. The price point of it is ridiculous for what you get out of it. You're getting a full centered base. You get their 3D diamond tips for flotation. They throw a carbon hot rod in the nose there to kind of stiffen it up when you need to.
Don't.
Just in the nose, man.
You gotta be kidding me.
Just in the nose. So the nose, with such a big nose, keeping that vibration down is really nice, but keeping that tail really playful.
Can we say just the tip?
Just the tip. Just the tip. I have personally had some very, very deep days on this. I bought this board. What was it? Last season? No, 2 seasons ago. 2021. And first day we were blessed with a beautiful 30-inch storm at Wolf Creek in November. Yep. I just got the board like a week previous, and I was like, sweet, I can ride my pow board in some pow for the first time. And I was blown away. It kind of, early season, we get tired a lot quicker, especially on those first powder days. And coming out of COVID, I hadn't ridden since March, and we're to November, and I'm riding again. and this thing allowed me to ride all day. You know, you can stand in your regular centered stance with that big nose on this thing, and it really floats really, really nicely. And again, I like to carve, and this thing you can put on edge, no problem. Short, snappy, fun, playful turns, and allows you to kind of get that reaction in the trees as well. So definitely the Stalefish is a phenomenal powder board that's not going to break the bank as well.
Yeah, I didn't get to ride it, but man, the way that you cruise this thing, it's just jealous. Pure jealous.
But I mean,
Season, I'm
Yeah.
that day I was on my nitro dropout and I was struggling to absolutely keep up with you, and you're just riding like school, riding like a school bus down the fucking shoo.
Yeah. So definitely one to check out if you're kind of ready to upgrade your quiver. Hopefully this year we're going to need these power boards. So definitely one to check out. Again, this is one of those boards we want to size down on. Personally, I ride the 157. It's a bit big. I like that in the flotation though. Like, you know, if you're used to a 159, 160, you can go down to a 153, no problem. Just makes it a little bit more nimble, but the shape of it's going to allow you to float really nicely.
Definitely a board for the quiver, obviously.
Definitely a board for the
Yeah.
quiver. You know, like these three over here on the side they're quiver boards. You know, you don't want to always ride the same board. Might as well get one for the terrain you're riding. So, you know, the next board we talk about is definitely one of those things you could ride every day and have a blast with. Again, wider profile, kind of sizing down, but it's Bataleon. So the Bataleon Party Wave Plus. These guys have had the Party Wave out for quite a while, kind of to combat that kind of slush slasher, super fun, playful, directional feel. Now they've kind of done this Plus series, add a little bit more carbon, stiffened up the boards a little bit. And with the Party Wave Plus, what I found is it just allows you to kind of do more on it than the regular Party Wave. Still has that ridiculously fun feeling. Like, you're on a directional board, but it makes you want to butter. It makes you want to play around, hit some jibs, and all those things. But now that it's stiffened up, it will carry more speed, going to be more stable, and really is going to allow you to float with the triple base technology and the wider profile of this. So.
And the triple base technology actually almost like the bow of a boat, where it just kind of, instead of chundering through it pushes it aside. So you're kind of getting more flowy flavor. We call it flavor.
Oh, flowy flavor.
I like it.
float for your flavor.
Yeah, like yeah.
And the Party Wave was super floaty and super fun, but you wasn't very good at charging. You didn't, and now that they stiffened up this one, the Party Wave Plus, they just added that component to this board.
Yeah, can't really stress enough at how fun Bataleons are. They're a different enough ride from other things, but it'll blow your mind. Come check them out. I got a couple demos in the shop. You gotta come ride these things. If you don't want to demo it, that's fine. I'll sell you one, and I promise you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
You're gonna come back with
grinning ear to ear.
You know, it's like nothing you've ever ridden before. You know, it's like the first time you drive an electric car. The torque, the power that you're gonna get out of an electric motor, it's fun. It's gonna bring a smile to your face, you know, and that's kind of what Bataleon's doing. They're different and similar enough that they set themselves apart very well in the snowboard industry.
And that's what they say their goal is like, we want to bring the fun back into snowboarding. Like, we want you to have a good time while you're on the mountain. Come down the mountain with a smile on your face and ready to hang out with your friends at Brace Ski, you know.
Guys, this almost makes me want to snowboard.
Who can snowboard?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, guys, this is just a few of the models that we're gonna have in this year. Please come check it out. Check us out online at BooneMountainSports.com.
Ask us questions.
And if you have any questions, please call us. Let us know. We'd love to educate you guys on what you're purchasing. We're not just telling you what to buy. We want you to really get the facts on what these boards are here for.
Get the right board for you.
Yeah, call us, check us out online, check out more of these videos. Cheers.
2023, baby.